Hey, what's up, you guys? Esley Greer back with another review, and today's review will be the first in actually the second, depending on whichever way you want to think it, because I did do a review for Freddy vs. Jason. So, I mean, technically, I guess this one's the first in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. So, before we get started, I know I haven't ranked the Friday 13th franchise yet, but the reason being is because it's going to be a massive collaboration, because thanks to Aaron from AA Ron, You've Done Messed Up Productions. He gave me an idea to, if I rank the Friday 13th franchise, why don't I rank it with people that I've worked with on Friday 13th reviews. So I thought that was a hell of an idea. But it will take a bit because my data is going to be renewing today or tomorrow. So, then I'll actually be able to make that video and download your guys' videos. So, I'm really excited for that. But yeah, let's get started. So today's review, as I've stated, is A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 1984 slasher directed by Wes Craven and stars Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp, and a few others. And the main story is just pretty much in Wes Craven's classic slasher film, several Midwestern teens fall prey to Freddy Krueger, a disfigured midnight mangler who preys on the teens in their dreams, which in turn kills them in reality. So we're going to start with positives, as I do most of the time. So my main positive with this film is that out of all three, the big three, like Freddy, Jason, and Michael, this one has the most intriguing and most impressive story for a slasher film. Michael Myers is pretty much, a babysitter killer. Jason is, a killer at Camp Crystal Lake, so he kills you while you're, at the camp, trying to get away to have sex and do drugs, be from the outside world. And then here comes Freddy, kills you in your sleep, which is your most vulnerable time, which I'll admit, I've babysat a few times, and when I've heard things, I think of Michael Myers or just a burglar in general, or just like a killer, a murderer as well. And then, when I've gone hiking and had to spend the night in the woods a few times, I've thought about Jason or his mother or an inbred hillbilly out there trying to kill me or something. But whenever I sleep, I've had some horrific nightmares, but whenever I had those nightmares, it's just, I love sleep. I mean, it's the one way I do want to die, like just die peacefully. Keyword peacefully. Can't do that with Freddy Krueger, but I've had one nightmare with Freddy Krueger, and when he was about to kill me, I woke up, thankfully, because I was so scared and paranoid in that dream. So yeah, I just think that this story is just very impressive for a slasher film, because most slasher films are just, in reality, and this one just takes place during your dreams, which is scary enough as is. And I think that this film is also well acted for actors that this is either their first film or one of their first films, and I think they do a pretty good job. I mean, some acting is a bit stale, but that's normal in your first performance. And also some of the special effects are top notch. I mean, the one where Nancy's asleep and you see Freddy Krueger on the wall, and that was a $2 special effect, and they do it better in this film than they do in the remake. But regardless, it's a really good effect, really, and I love the way that Freddy Krueger looks as well. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it is in the top 3 looks for Freddy Krueger. I mean, they didn't really, I mean, they knew what they had, but they didn't really know what they had. And I think, the practical effects, the special effects for Freddy are pretty good for a low budget slasher film, because this film is low budget. And some of the deaths in here are really good. Glenn's death and the one guy at the beginning where he's in jail, that one was pretty good. And, there's a few more. They're either decent to pretty good in this film for being a low-budget slasher film. And also, actually, I do like the fact that, Freddy is going after the teens that their parents went out and killed him. So, his spirit came back, or later on, he turns into, like, a being. So, whatever. But it's just, I like the fact that, he goes after the teens that their parents, killed him. So he's just getting revenge. So Freddy's Revenge. I'm just playing. That's what this one should have been called. No, I'm just playing. But regardless, that's pretty good. So moving on to my negatives, because I do have a few. Like I said, some of the acting is a bit stale. Even Heather's performance in this as Nancy, some of her lines are a bit stale, but I think this is her first film, or one of her first. And the one and only Johnny Depp, some of his lines are a bit cringy, but like I say, they do a fine job. It's just sometimes it's just like a bit cringeworthy a little bit, but regardless, they did a pretty good job. And for Johnny Depp's first film to go on and be a great actor, but not so great now, his last good film that I've seen was Black Mass. But I do want to see Murder on Orient Express or whatever. I forgot what it's called, but Robbie, thank you for the digital code. I still need to watch it. And thank you, Desmond, for the digital code for Upgrade. I still need to watch that. Um, but yeah, it's sort of, even though it's negative with some of their dialogue and everything, it's nice to see where Johnny Depp started. And also, some of the special effects, like I said earlier, some of them are pretty good. But when Nancy's friend is out in the alleyway and you see Freddy Krueger and his arms like stretch out, you could tell it looked really bad. I mean, if we're being honest here, that did look very bad. But, I mean, other than that, and a few other moments, uh, the special effects are pretty good. Some of the decisions towards the end of the film are a bit bonkers, and yes, I just said bonkers, but some of the decisions that Nancy and her friends make are a bit bonkers. They're not the best, but some of them are cliche decisions. Some of them are not, so that's good. You have a mixture of both, but the cliche ones are a bit eh. But yeah, I'm gonna go out and say a bold statement. I do like this film better than the original Halloween. I like this film better than the original Friday 13th. So I think that even though Freddy's not my favorite slasher franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street isn't my favorite slasher franchise, I think it does have the best first film. And so yeah, with all that being said, I will give A Nightmare on Elm Street an 8.5 out of 10. And as always, don't be scared to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It'd be highly appreciated. And peace.